Tottenham TV back here for yet another Tottenham update. We're sitting here the 10th of January, one signing through the door. More coming very, very soon. We'll see what happens. But first of all, we're going to talk about some injury news, injury updates regarding Ange was speaking about Bentancur. There's also an update from Sammy Mockbell regarding Bentancur, and he says that Tottenham medical staff will make regular home checks on Rodrigo Bentancur over the coming days in light of what happened on Wednesday night. Bentancur will not be permitted to return to the club's training headquarters until he is given the medical green light to return. And Ange Postecoglou, in his news update today, says that good news. He was in hospital and did all the tests to make sure everything is okay. It's all good. He's back home. He's fine. He's feeling good. Thankfully, it looks like a concussion and nothing more than that. Protocols will be followed over the next couple of weeks. So, yeah, I mean, if protocols are followed over the next couple of weeks, does that mean he's not going to play over the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, probably. Usually, I mean, I'm pretty sure the concussion protocols were like, what was it? I can't remember if it was 1 week or 10 days, but
I think it's 10 days, you know.
I think so, 10 days. So that's probably what he's following. So he says, I think it's a couple of weeks. So probably in his head, it's a couple of weeks, but I think it's actually 10 days.
A couple of weeks from the game.
Yeah. So look, that's fine. It is what it is. His health is of paramount importance, and we have to make sure he's okay. Thankfully, it's nothing more serious than a concussion, although concussions can be quite serious if not treated properly. So, look, looks like he's okay. And unfortunately, again, can't catch a break. We're not going to see him for a couple of weeks. I don't know what games that mean he's back for. So if that's 2 weeks, that means he's back for like the 24th or like 22nd. So what game would you say he's probably back for?
Probably the Leicester game. The
Leicester game. So going to miss the North London derby. But look, hopefully we'll be back for the second leg of the Carabao for sure. Maybe some Europa League games. So
yeah, he'll miss. Basically, what we're saying is that he's going to miss Tamworth, Arsenal, Everton, and Hoffenheim.
But look, the emergence of Bergvall now. Maybe we could have a centre back in time in that game, and that means Gray can move into midfield. So we'll have some options, hopefully, in that time.
Yeah, regarding the other players and their returning, when they're returning. So apparently Romero is projected to return by the 20th of January, which makes him hopefully back for the Hoffenheim game. Which, again, first league game will be Leicester, just like Rodrigo Bentancur. Mickey van der Ven, a bit later, the 27th of January, so he'll be back for the Brentford game on the 2nd of February. Odebear, they're saying around the 10th of February, which puts him in line to return for the Manchester United game just after the second leg. And Vicario, they're looking at a bit later, about the 17th of Feb, so he'll be back hopefully for the Ipswich away game just after the United game. So it looks like they're starting to filter back now.
Well, and just done an update. I can't hear it because obviously we're doing the update, but I don't know what he's been said. But he's just done an injury update. So we'll we'll have to wait and see what he says. But yeah, if those dates are accurate, it's positive. Again, look, it's not positive because we wanted these players back earlier, but I guess in terms of looking for that second leg, it's positive.
No, none of them will be back for the second leg. Oh, two of them will be back for the second leg, I guess. Yeah. Romero and Van der Ven.
That's important ones.
Yeah, true. All right, cool. Let's move on and let's talk about some transfers. And let's start off talking about Timo Werner. As the Footy Insider claimed that Eintracht Frankfurt are plotting a move for Timo. The 28-year-old is on the radar of Frankfurt as they assess potential replacements for Man City's top target, Omar Mamouche. But unfortunately, Florian Plettenberg has poured cold water all over that. He says rumours linking Frankfurt to Timo Werner are wide off the mark. The 28-year-old, under contract with Tottenham until the end of the season and recently in the starting 11, is currently not a topic for Frankfurt, even if Mamouche was to leave. So thank you, Florian.
Yeah, it was nice to dream for about half an hour, and that's been shot down. So look, we all know, if I think at this point, we all know that Spurs got the opportunity to offload Timo Werner this month. I think we're all happy to see the back of him at this point. He's not providing anything for the team, even when given the opportunities. So I think Ange is growing a bit tired and frustrated with him as well. So we could definitely do with offloading him. But because of the contract we signed, it's up to Leipzig whether he returns. So if another club comes in for him, that could really save us. But fortunately, no one's putting their hand up and taking him.
Yeah, it's actually such... I mean, I'm getting frustrated with the deal. I mean, I got frustrated when we first did it. But, like, not only do you take him back for a second season, but you don't even put a break clause in January. Like, surely the decision maker, whoever decided to bring Timo back to the club, thought it would be a good idea to put a break clause in January.
Yep. and they didn't. Maybe they didn't expect him to be this bad because he was okay in this, in the first 6 months. I mean, he wasn't even amazing, but he was okay. But so maybe they didn't think it was necessary. But it's come to the stage now where it's looking like a big mistake. The whole thing's looking like a big mistake, but especially not a no break clause.
Yeah. Let's talk about Randall Kolo Muani now, as Fabrizio Romano says that Tottenham are still pushing for the signing of Muani. Manchester United have called to be informed in the deal last week. It's an open race. Spurs and Juventus are both trying for the deal. Tutto Sports, or reports from Italy, say that Juventus have begun negotiations with PSG to agree on the formula for a deal for Kolo Randall Muani after the player gave the green light on a move to Serie A. And Florian Plettenberg says that Manchester United's efforts to sign Muani are becoming more concrete. The Red Devils are now determined to do everything possible to secure his transfer in the winter. Recently, there have been very specific talks with his management, and direct negotiations with PSG are expected to follow. Man U are considering a loan deal, ideally with an option to buy. Other clubs still in the race include Chelsea, Villa, Tottenham, Juventus, AC Milan, and others. So, it just sounds like a race very wide open still.
Yeah, for sure. I was just reading a report from Sky Sports saying that Juventus have definitely made Muani their first choice target this window. So, look, it's going to be a very, very tight race. I think if it's up against us versus Man United, I think I'd back Tottenham in the race at the moment, just because if I'm Muani, I know Amorim, obviously, they play that 3-4-3 system, and that is where he kind of thrived the most in his career when he was at Frankfurt, and Glasner played a very similar kind of setup. But if I'm Muani, I'm looking at Tottenham right now and the amount of goals we're scoring, and it's probably so good for strikers to come in and really improve their game and start to get their numbers up and get chances. I'm looking at Man United; they're not creating as many chances as Tottenham at the moment. And albeit if he goes to Man United, maybe he's got a better shot of definitely getting into that start 11 from the beginning. But I think Muani's got a good shot here anyway. So I think as well, money-wise, apparently United are struggling with PSR and we're not. So money-wise, I don't think it would be a problem for us more to like match his wages and stuff compared to Man United at the moment. So I think we would have a good shot now. Juventus are in the race. Obviously, they're looking to get back in the Champions League. They're still unbeaten under Thiago Motta. They're a massive club. I know Man United are a massive club as well, but it's going to be obviously a lot tighter getting in ahead of Juventus. But I still think we've got a good shot of with our hat in the ring. I think we've got a good case to get him.
It's interesting between the case between Spurs and Man United, because I think in terms of stylistically and looking at how both teams play at the moment, I think he probably would prefer to play in this Tottenham team. But I agree. I think that he's got more of a shot of playing more consistent minutes at Manchester United right now, because you're looking at the striking options that Spurs have. You've got Richarlison coming back from injury. You've got Dom Solanke, who's done so well this season. Yeah, I know he can play anywhere across the front three as well, but I think his number 9 is probably his most suited position in our system particularly. And you look at Man United, you've got the likes of Joshua Zirkzee, he's not doing well. You've got Højlund as well, who's been very hit and miss since joining Manchester United. So I think he'll look at that Man United team and say, like, there's a clear spot for me in that starting lineup. Where he'll look at the Spurs lineup, I don't think he'll say there's a clear spot for me there.
Not up front, and that's the question. Out wide, I think there's opportunities if he impresses in that position. But does he want to play there essentially? If he's looking for a starting spot in the number 9, Man United's going to be more likely for him. Albeit, I do think there'll be opportunities here for him in the number 9, but more likely out wide. So it's up to Muani, I guess.
And then last but not least, Rudy Galletti says that Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham and Man United have recently asked for fresh info on João Gomez. To date, Wolves are not open to considering selling him this transfer window. Only a huge offer could change their minds. So I guess that rules Tottenham out.
I just don't see it right now with the midfielder. With centre-backs coming back, which means Gray is going to probably move. Well, I guess he plays full-back as well, but he's going to hopefully have some time midfield as an option. You've got Bergvall coming through. You've still got Basuma, Bentancur, Kulusevski, Maddison and Sarr. I just think right now midfield is the least of our worries. I just don't see a January move for a midfielder. Maybe in the summer, if we'd make a decision on Bentancur and Basuma, or maybe even both, or we make some decisions there, or harsh decisions, then I think maybe we look at midfielder. But I just can't see it in this January. I don't see it being necessary.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I kind of agree. I don't think we will sign a midfielder this January. But in terms of looking at the bigger picture and moving on to like the summer window, what I would like to see us do is probably move on Bentancur and Basuma, bring in Johnny Cardozo, and then one more. whether it be someone like a Douglas Luiz or a João Gomez or someone of that ilk. I'd like to see us bring in. So I think if we could swap those two for Cardozo and another really good one, then I think that's the way we should really be going.
At the moment, well, I mean, I feel for Bentancur, but he can't seem to stay available, and Bissouma can't seem to have consistency. So I think that's the big decisions we've got to make. I do think there are two very good players in there, but I think for the long term of this football club, we really want to progress and be where we want to be. They probably need to be improved on now.
And
anyway,
I think Bissouma
has definitely got potential. I think they've both got potential to be who we want them to be in our team. I think they're both good enough when they're at their best. The problem is we can't keep them at their best for long enough. That's the problem.
Yeah, particularly Bissouma for me is just way too up and down. And for someone of his age, you really expect him to be like on, an upward trajectory or playing at his level. And I just don't think we see that often enough for Yves Bissouma. You're looking at as well, I think in the summer, I think he's got 2 years left in his deal. In the summer, he goes into his last year of his deal.
I think about 18 months, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, you've got to make a serious decision now on Yves Bissouma. I think it's either this summer you try real hard to sell him or you give him a new contract. You've got to do one of the two.
Just a quick update, what Ange did say in his injury news update, he said that none of the players that are injured are returning for this game, and he also said it would be unwise for him to bring any players back from injury and then put them straight onto a 3G pitch or whatever it is, the AstroTurf. So that's why none of the players who were unavailable before are going to be available.
All right, well, there you have it. That is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.